Hello. So good to meet you at our global motivational meeting. We are reading World Scriptures book, This God's Words of Life, that empowers billions of people, families, communities, countries, and the whole world, and will help you to just read them and practice in your daily life. Think about them daily, that God could give you tips for happy life and prosperity. As we're reading this holy book from the beginning, please find all the chapters of our Message to Billion channel. And then now let's see what God prepared for us today. As we are reading about society, let's read further about economic justice. As long as society tolerates great disparities in living standards between rich and poor, it cannot be regarded as a just society. Such disparities weaken the bond of solidarity between citizens and generates class distinctions and their accompanying prejudice. Furthermore, equality of opportunity, equal justice under the law is a fiction in a society where the wealthy have every advantage over the poor. Visionaries of every age have thought for economic democracy to accompany political democracy. Socialism of various stripes have arisen in response to this perennial desire of the original mind. Economic justice begins with the commandment not to steal. Thieves are not only those who steal from other people, but also, and more damagingly, those in position of authority who rob from the public thought. This leads to the question of what is public and what is private. God created the earth with its air, water, and mineral resources, and in biblical Israel, all the land belonged to God, with the people as its stewards. This scriptural viewpoint challenges the capitalists' concept of private property and suggests that a just economic system should involve some notion of shared ownership. Furthermore, from God's perspective, all people are members of one family. How then can the wealthy sleep in good conscience while some of their brothers and sisters go hungry? The early Christians held all property in common, a tradition that has persisted in utopian socialist experiments to this day. The key to success socialism, according to Father Moon, is God's love, which is the fault of the impulse of charity and brotherly love. It can prompt the wealthy to share their blessings, creating a virtuous cycle of giving. Communism, on the other hand, sought to institutionalize common ownership through a state mechanism that took from the rich to distribute to the poor. It utilized proletarian resentment to justify what was essentially stealing, enforced with great brutality. It took this despicable strategy in Father Moon's view because of its atheism and hostility to religion. Instead of looking to the state to redress economic imbalance, we can look to ourselves. We can choose to strive only for our individual profit and instead regard each other as brothers and sisters, members of God's family. Then, just as family members apportion income and expenses when making their monthly budget, people of each village or neighborhood would meet on a regular basis and voluntary apportion income and share expenses to promote fairness and equality. By the same token, employers and factory owners should pay their workers at the same wage, not only to encourage their good industry, but also out of regard to their value as human beings. Likewise, in the family of nations, wealthy nations would voluntarily offer aid and technological assistance to developing nations, with the goal that all people on the planet would have comparable standards of living. Supporting this, we should promote a culture that honors people more than their charity than for their wealth. Furthermore, envision this as a practical way to achieve economic justice. Stealing and misappropriating public property. First quote, you shall not steal. Another quote, whoever steals what is considered to belong to others, whether it is situated in villages or in the forest, he is to be known as an outcast. Whoever having contracted debts default when asking to pay returns, I am not indebted to you, he is to be known as an outcast. Whoever is destroys of stealing even a trifle and mugs a person going along the road in order to take it, he is to be known as an outcast. Another quote, lo, those who devote the wealth of orphans wrongly, they do but shallow fire into their bellies, and they will be exposed to burning flame. Another quote, as for the thief, both male and female cut off their hands. It is the rewards for their own deeds and an exemplary punishment from God. Oh my God. Another quote, private property does not constitute for anyone an absolute and unconditional right. No one is justified in keeping for his exclusive use what he does not need when others lack necessities. Let's read further quotes from the Messiah, Father Sun and Moon. Religion teaches people to deny and reject everything that our body desires. Our body tells us to steal food when it is hungry, but heaven teaches us always to say no to that impulse. What is wrong with stealing? The item you steal is the result of someone's sacrifice and service. Hence, it has public value. When you take it without paying anything for it, you negate that public value. That is a sin. The fall took place when the archangel, rather than respecting Adam and serving him sacrificially, instead manipulated the situation to swindle Adam. Then he looked at God's creation, looting, destroying, and swinging follow upon hatred and deception. If you take part in any of this, you will go to hell. When using public funds, you should have a more anxious heart than I about using the money correctly. You should feel that taking even one penny for your personal use is as painful as amputating one of your limbs. If you are casual about public funds, you will inevitably decline. The sin will come around the bite you. You may be swindled, robbed, or even killed. All events in history are the expansions of the deeds of individuals. What means and methods have successful people used to rise to the top? To reach their goal, they take advantage of the other people or embezzle from organizations. This has been the tradition throughout history, even ever since the human fall, when human beings received the blood of Satan, they unconsciously became arrogant and started using others to satisfy their own needs. That has been the direction of human history. It is the result of the seeds sown at the fall. Suppose while walking down the street, you find a golden nugget that fell from somewhere. Do not take it for yourself. If you do, is as if you were committing a thief. Such found money is public money. Therefore, you should not use it for yourself. Do you understand the meaning of public money? If you make an offering to the church with an ulterior motive, every moon will not accept it, even if you give it to Trumade, seeking to have her influence me. I do not touch it. Misusing public money is more fearful than taking poison. You will surely be caught and made to pay when you arrive in the spirit world. If you value your personal property more than public property, you are violating the way of heaven. If you value your personal integrity more than public integrity, you are contrary to the way of heaven. The things that you own, your material possessions, are not truly your own. You are their temporary steward. One of the main teachings of the Unification Church is what is mine is yours. Yours is the nations, and the nations is the world. The world is God's, and God's is mine. So powerful quotes for today. If you have difficulties, please watch one more time this video, share this video as we end this video on Happy Life Subscribers Marathon. Contact me for consultation, cooperation, and become a member of this Heavenly Parents Holy Community globally. Receive Heavenly Kingdom citizenship right now. The contact is below. See you tomorrow. Till then, turn on suggestion playlist and choose the best one. Listen God's word. Stay blessed all the day. Bye bye. Yours, Nicolae.